Hello everyone. We are sports science students from the University of Santo Tomas, and during the quarantine, we wanted to teach a client how to perform A and B skips by creating a practice plan for him to follow.
So, the outline of this PowerPoint is first we are going to talk about the background of the client and the description of the skill and its classification, the practice sessions that we had with the client, and the quality of practice. We're also going to talk about the goal of practice, the feedback to the client, the outcome measure used, and interpretations, and also the theoretical background support.
Background of the client. The individual is a recreational athlete who works out every day and has a mesomorph body type. He is an adolescent and is willing to participate as a subject in the activity. He is motivated to practice his skill and improve until he is able to do it properly. The task will involve explosive hip and knee movements. This task will need stability and endurance. This task also might be tiring for him in the process because this will be done repetitively. This will also be done 2 times a week to prevent bothering him in his schedule. A skips. It is skipping with high knees, and as you bring your leg down, finish with a slight bowing motion as you pull backwards. It focuses more on initiating pull from the glutes as the hamstrings then joins in the motion. Use the same arm motion during this drill while running. B skips, done by extension of the leg, dynamically stretching the hamstrings, allowing you to really emphasize the backward bowing motion as your foot lands on the ground and pulls through. Could also use the same arm motion during this drill while running. Environment. This will take place at the client's house where it is inconvenient for him during this time of pandemic. There will be no spectators, only the instructor who will tell him what to do, but possibly there will be other family members who will watch. Considering where he is comfortable or what type of environment he wants to execute the practice session in, but it will also be considered where he can properly do the task.
Description of the skill. A and B skips is a plyometric drill that also serves as a hurdle drill. It works on the drive of the lead leg up to the hurdle. The A skips helps in the initial drive up, while the B skips helps in the extension when you reach the height of the hurdle trajectory. These drills are also done for proper running forms. A and B skips sharpen your overall form by emphasizing foot placement, knee drive, and leg extension from the bottom up. These drills focus more on activating your glutes to skip, maintaining good rhythm, and skip as high as possible with good arm swings. This could also help runners to prevent having injuries. Classification of skill. For continuity, A and B skips is considered continuous because this move requires continuous pacing to really understand and learn the skill. For muscular involvement, A and B skips is considered as a gross motor skill because this move requires large movements of the lower extremity. For the environmental influences, this skill is considered to be an open environment because this is done in an open area where the environment cannot be predicted and controlled. For the pacing, it is considered internally paced because the client would be the one to initiate when he is ready. For complexity, A and B skips is considered to be simple because there are only few subroutines but with continuous movement and less cognitive demand is needed. And lastly, for the motor and cognitive elements, this is more on motor skill because motor control is maximized and minimal decision making is needed.
So, for the quality of performance, due to the pandemic, there were some difficulties in communicating with the participant and the trainer, but still, our group exerted effort to produce quality practice for the participant. The health and environment of the participant was managed and overlooked. The trainer made sure that there were no hazards around that could injure or strain the participant. And the practice was set to a time that it was not too hot or too humid for the participant to produce quality performance. And we made sure that the participant was motivated to do the task and was willing to participate because, as you know, motivation could also increase the quality of performance.
The main goal of this practice is to let the participant perform the A and B skips properly. Reaching this goal is supported by other short-term goals such as improvising the client's leg mobility, body coordination, confidence in executing the movement, and the skill in performing hurdles and running. During his first day of practicing the A and B skip, the client tends to put too much force when landing, and this could cause injury to his leg or foot. We advise him to control his power when landing. We noticed as well that the client had a difficult time coordinating when to swing his arm with each step. During day 2, there is improvement already on his landing. The client had a softer landing and also had a better body movement, with his arms being more concise in the movement of his lower body. The client still has a difficult time executing properly the B skips. During day 3, the client was more comfortable in doing the A skip. The client seemed more relaxed and not tense when doing the A skip. When doing the B skip, the client was able to correct his body movement more and also seemed more relaxed when doing it. During day 4, when we made the client do high knees before the A skip, it helped him warm up and was able to do the A skip in a cleaner way compared to his first time doing the activity. The client was able to perform better the B skips after doing the Frankenstein walks as a warm up. We also reminded him not to rush himself when landing. During day 5, the client was able to perform the A skills better. His body movement looks better and cleaner. The B skills look better compared to before, but the client needs to extend his legs more and bring them higher. He should also not rush himself when landing. During day 6, he is more comfortable when doing the A and B skips, but still needs improvement in extending the legs and bringing it higher when doing the B skips. At the start, the client watched the video demonstrating the skill and performed drills related to the skill. After doing the drills, the client was asked to try to perform the skill based on what he learned while watching the video. The client was shown to have more focus in his upper body form than his lower body form. His leg movements are stiff and his coordination is not yet smooth. It can be inferred that the time given for practice isn't enough to master the task with proper execution. These observations are seen in the video of the trials. The analysis that was seen in the video will be used as a guide for the things that needed to be focused on the following sessions. For example, on day 2, we made him focus more on refining the basic fundamental movements of the skips since his form and coordination were poor on day 1 based on the feedback.
For the theoretical background support, we have four such as schema theory, forgetting theory, specificity of learning principle, and fifth stages of learning. So what is schema theory? This is the set of rules on the parameter of the skill. On the client, by doing drills such as high knees, which was familiar to him, it was easier and cleaner for him to execute the movement. In forgetting theory, this is the shifting from one task to another that makes the participant relearn each. In our practice plan, for each session, the client started practicing the A skips first and proceeded to B skips after. This helped the client relearn the skills easily. For specificity of learning principle, it is stated that what you learn depends on what you practice. When the client executed the movement in a small space, it served as a distraction to him. However, When he performed the skill in a huge space, it helped him focus more on executing the movement. And then for the fifth stages of learning, which emphasizes both perceptual and motor components of acquisition, has three stages, which are the cognitive stage, fixation stage, and autonomous stage. Cognitive stage is all about introducing the skill and identifying the goals. During the first week of practice, the client was introduced to the skill and was given time to watch videos or clips of the skill. In fixation stage, this is more on building motor programs and organizing more effective movement patterns to execute the action. For the second week of practice, the performance of the client improved. He was given drills that can be associated with the skill that led to enhancement of his movements and coordination. And in the last stage or autonomous stage, this is associated with the attainment of an expert performance. For the last week of practice, the client was tasked to perform the skill on a longer distance. It was also easier for him to perform the skills with better and proper body mechanics. Thank you for listening on our discussion about creating a practice plan for our participant. We hope that you were able to understand each topic we tackled and learned a lot from it.